Hello everyone and welcome back to For Dummies KH. In today's video, we're going to be going over HTML and CSS and how CodePen can be used to make learning them a lot easier. So what am I talking about? What are these? HTML is a programming language mainly used for designing documents to be displayed on the web, while CSS is used for formatting these documents. So basically, HTML handles the contents of the document, while CSS handles how these contents look. HTML is really easy to learn if you've already learned coding, and it's also a good place to start if you have no prior coding experience. The best way to learn HTML, at least in my experience, is to just play around with it yourself, and CodePen makes that really easy to do. It's free and easy to use, so give it a look if you plan on messing around with HTML at all. Something that makes CodePen really great is that you can look at code that other people have already written. So let's say, for the purpose of this video, I'm making a resume to be displayed on the web. You can search resume in the search bar like I did, look through what other people have done. Uh, if I see one that interests me, I can click on it and I'll see the HTML and CSS code that goes into making this resume down here. So what's really good about CodePen is that this fork option down here. Basically what forking does is you can copy and paste this code into another file where you can edit it and play around with it yourself. So that's exactly what I did, not with this uh, template, but with another one. And this is the resume that I came up with. It's simple, not too flashy, but it'll get the job done for the purposes of this video. I won't go into too much detail with syntax in this video, and I'll explain why shortly. I really just want to show you how you can play around in CodePen, so you can learn for yourself if this is really something that you're interested in. So remember I said that HTML handles the contents of the document while CSS handles how these contents look. Well, here I'm going to really show you what I mean. In the HTML code here, you can see that I'm in the header here, header, and here, H1, corresponds to this in the document. So if I go ahead and change that to Kevin H, it'll update shortly and the output will follow suit. Change it back. So it'll change the contents of the document, but the font size, color, and so on will all remain the same. So if I go over to the CSS code, this is where I can change the way these contents look. So look here, header H1 and header H2. These are the contents that are affected by the following commands right here. And over here, I see that we're still in the header, H1 and H2. These are the contents. And if I go ahead and change this from black to green, the contents on the document will follow suit. So there's so many options for formatting with CSS, and it's really just about whatever you feel like changing. So I could go up here back to H1 corresponding to the main title and change that to 80. It'll change the font, real simple. And if you go down here, you can deal with text alignment. There's so many options. So you can change it from center to, let's say, left. And I'll change there. And then another thing is background color. So see here in the education section, I have a background color and it's set to this, which is this string of numbers and letters, and it's not a color. So what is that? So this is gray, but it's not actually just gray. It's a hue of gray. And the way I find what that code is, you just search in HTML color codes. Google's your best friend. And you'll pull up something like this. There's a bunch of these on the internet. And you can find a color that you like. So say you like that color. So this is the code that corresponds with this particular color. So 2AE C37. All you got to do is change this to AE C37, and it'll change it to whatever that is. So this leads me into my next point, which I brought up earlier as to why I'm not really going to go into syntax here. When it comes to learning HTML, I'll say it again, Google is your best friend. So say I need help with the syntax for headers in HTML. All I need to do is Google HTML header format, and a million things are going to come up. This right here, w3schools.com, is a really great site when it comes to learning coding, and especially HTML. It'll give you everything you need and more based on what you searched. It'll give you syntax as well as little descriptions, different formatting styles, exercises. It's just a really great site, and you can use it for all different types of coding, not just HTML. So definitely give it a look. So that's really all I've got. So I hope you've been able to get something out of this. Definitely look into CodePen if you want to mess around with HTML and CSS. And I'll see you in the next video.